Army of the Dead. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. In this video we are going to be reviewing Army of the Dead, which literally just got released on Netflix, and it's a bit of a zombie heist movie from the brilliant director Zack Snyder. And actually this movie has been in development hell since 2007 and has finally been released, and it's actually a brilliant movie that's doing a really good job in terms of creating its own franchise with 2 prequels on the way and an almighty brilliant tease for the sequel ahead. And Zack Snyder's just doing such a good job in terms of really making a name for himself as a brilliant movie director, and I cannot wait to break down Army of the Dead for you in this movie review. So from a storyline point of view, a casino owner goes over to a mercenary and asks him to retrieve $200 million from his casino vault. The only catch is that the casino is located in Las Vegas, which has now been infested by the zombie apocalypse. The film then explores whether or not this group of mercenaries are going to be successful in retrieving the $200 million from the zombie apocalypse based area, and whether or not they're actually going to survive the zombie heist movie, which I think is really, really cool. So from a positives point of view, this movie definitely does a new thing in terms of the zombie world, in terms of making a bit of a hierarchy within the zombie community and having kings and queens and alpha zombies and then the lower zombies, which I thought was really interesting. And of course they have that zombie tiger in this movie as well. Also, I think it's really great from a character development point of view, as you really get to focus on these group of mercenary characters and you really get to know them as well. And they did this really interesting thing in terms of within that group, who really is the real evil? Is it the zombies, or is it a member within your group that is maybe going to betray you, and who can you trust? And so from a group of characters point of view, I think it was really, really great. And also from a zombie apocalypse point of view, it has all of the things that you would need it to have in terms of brilliant action sequences, really believable visuals, and some really clever dynamics happening between the human characters and the zombie characters. And also, like I said before, they are building a bit of a franchise with the Army of the Dead world, which I think is really, really cool. However, from a negatives point of view, a couple of people have criticized the actual runtime of this movie as it goes over 2 hours. I mean, Zack Snyder's previous film, the Zack Snyder Justice League cut, was obviously 4 hours, so by comparison it's not that long. But you know, Zack Snyder's definitely making a name for himself in terms of having the longer length based movies. But I think it's fine because you really get to know the characters and you really get to go on this epic journey with all of them as well. I guess another criticism is that they could have done a little bit more with all of the action sequences. But you know, that being said, overall I do feel from a storyline point of view this movie is actually pretty strong. So from a cast and characters point of view, it's really great, as it really does feel like a bit of an ensemble piece in this film. But you know, that being said, there are some main players in this film as well, so let's go through them one by one. So first up, we of course have Bautista, who plays the character of Scott in this movie, and he is definitely leading from the front, both literally from the mercenary army point of view as well as from this movie point of view, as he's definitely the main character. You're definitely with this character, you definitely see some emotional stuff happening with this character and also with his daughter as well. And also you get to see this character being an absolute boss in this film with killing and wiping out a lot of the zombie characters. Next up we have Purnell, who plays the character of Kate. She is the daughter of the Scott character, and actually she's a little bit annoying, to be honest, at certain points as well. She also has her zombie badass moments as well, but actually she causes a lot of chaos in this movie. Next up we have Notaro, who was playing the helicopter pilot in this movie, and I think it's absolutely fascinating that this character was added digitally into the movie after the previous actor had to leave the project. They weren't able to do reshoots due to the pandemic, but actually they were really successful in seamlessly adding in this character into this movie, and you would never have thought that they were added in digitally, which I think is absolutely fascinating. Next up we have Hiroyuki Sanada, who plays the character of Tanaka, and if you think this character looks familiar, it's because he was also playing Scorpion in the recently released Mortal Kombat movie. And this character is the casino boss person. That is the person that is giving all of these different characters the mission to go and retrieve the $200 million before Las Vegas is totally obliterated in a plan to kill all of the zombies. We also have the character of Martin, who is Tanaka's second in command, and he is joining the mercenaries on their mission to retrieve this money. And then finally, we have the palace royals within the zombie community, the king and the queen. The king is known as Zeus, and it's really interesting seeing the different hierarchy within the world of the zombies, and this character definitely goes on his own warpath towards the end of the movie. And I think from the zombie queen point of view, I thought it was really interesting what they have to do in order to win this character over. So overall, from a cast and characters point of view, this movie is actually pretty awesome. So from a visuals point of view, I definitely feel like the zombies look super realistic, and like I said, I feel like they've done something really different with this movie, not only with the zombie hierarchy, but also having a zombie tiger, and just the world looks really different and innovative to what you've seen before within a zombie apocalypse type movie. I also think it was really clever in terms of choosing Las Vegas as a location, as it's just such a brilliant location to go to, and I just think it really does come to life in this zombie apocalypse type world. And also the quarantine-based areas definitely have a bit of a lockdown vibe to it. So from a visuals point of view, I feel like not only does it look absolutely spectacular, it's also got a bit of a timely nature to it as well. So from a comparison point of view, I definitely feel like you can compare this movie to the Expendables franchise and to the Suicide Squad franchise as well, especially from a mercenary going on this mission point of view. I think it's also really interesting that actually it's not that much like Dawn of the Dead and Bird Box. I was initially thinking the fact that it's also a zombie apocalypse movie by Zack Snyder might be pretty similar to Dawn of the Dead, but actually that movie is very different to Army of the Dead, and actually I feel like you can compare Army of the Dead a lot more to the Oceans franchise and to World War Z as well, which I think is really interesting and is definitely a new take within this genre, which I think is absolutely awesome. So overall, I have to say, Zack Snyder did it again. Army of the Dead is a pretty awesome movie. I really enjoyed it, a lot more than I thought I would have done. I mean, I was expecting a little bit more from it, but that being said, it is a pretty awesome movie. All of the characters are really great. The journey that they go on is really cool. The twist at the end is really great. And I think they've done a really good job in setting up and building its own franchise. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.